Laker basketball on FSN West is brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the NBA. Is it in you? By the official airlines of the NBA, Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Carl's Jr. Try the new Portobello Mushroom $6 burger, only Carl's Jr. And by SBC, now joined with AT&T. Welcome back once again to Staples Center. Joel Myers along with Stu Lance, and later they are going to be honoring Rick Fox, something we'll be talking about between the first and second quarters. They're going to give Rick a jersey. It's going to be framed. Good to see Foxy back in the building. Starting five for Avery Johnson's Dallas Mavericks. Nowitzki, Howard, Dampier in the middle with Adrian Griffin, who was unemployed just a little more than a month ago, and Jason Terry in the backcourt. Former Atlanta Hawk and Arizona Wildcat. And a little general, one of the unique guys. You don't play defense, you're not going to play for him. And while we talk about the Lakers defense, well, that's where the Mavericks have stepped up their game as well. And the 5s and 4 of the Lakers, same we've seen over the last few. Lamar and Bryant down low, along with Chris Mim in the middle, and Kobe and Smushy in the backcourt. And Phil has said after the game the other night, he said Lamar just looked hesitant. That was the word he used. So let's see if we can get, Stu, an early beginning for Lamar Odom. It's needed.
Well, obviously it's needed from Lamar, but I think it's needed after, especially the way the Lakers lost their last game. It's needed by everybody. They need to get out of the gate in a hurry tonight.
Lamar working against Griffin. Smush, quick catch and shoot. Bam, long rebound for Kobe. Lakers lead early.
Long shot, long rebound, and Kobe tracked it down and makes his first attempt.
Yeah, the Lakers facing a team that can put it together offensively. It was 109-106 Lakers. Kobe was amazing that night with 43 points. On the pick and roll, Dampier got it late. Now it's going to be Terry. They don't shoot, believe it or not, as many threes. The Lakers, in fact, have taken 91 more threes. Kobe on the crossover, trying to barge his way in. Good defense, but the length of Howard and the help from Dampier. Josh Howard the other way. And Nowitzki up against the smaller man, puts it back. He was trying to be boxed. Well, Smush was trying to box him out.
Well, you box out, but you also then try to jump as well, because if you're just boxing and the guy is a lot taller than you, and he's able to get a rebound from behind without committing a foul.
Right, no loose ball foul. You may have come over your back had you gone up. Good point. Kobe, 2 for 2. Lakers lead by 2.
Well, they got Adrian Griffin in the lineup, and I would think his responsibility should be to play Kobe, since his reputation is that of a defender.
Yeah, there's a loose ball foul. Dampier gets his first. He fouled out. You might remember last Monday night, and it didn't hurt the Mavericks.
First 2 shots for Kobe from the perimeter, as he missed the driving shot, but the first one was a miss from Smush, and then working on an isolation play. And I feel sorry for you, Howard, because you're going to be seeing that all night long.
Smush on the handoff, and he's grabbed from behind by Jason Terry. So a couple of free throws coming up. And while we're on the subject of Kobe and trying to track him, I bet he feels after watching that film with David Wesley on the baseline, I wish I would have taken more than 13 shots. Hindsight's perfect, isn't it?
Well, you know what Kobe was doing, though. He's doing what he has been doing pretty much in this winning streak, and he's really been distributing the basketball. But there's the fine line that he walks as well, knowing when to be super aggressive himself and appease all the critics, and then pass the basketball. You know, the guy's the player of the week last week in the Western Conference when he averaged almost 34 points in the 4 games. So, I mean, he's such a talented player that sometimes we take him for granted, thinking that he can do things all by himself or when they are needed to be done.
Well, Smush gets 1 of 2. And we talked about it, we're spoiled by his brilliance. There's no question. We're watching one of the great players in the history of the game every night. We will for some time, fortunately, in his 10th year. 5-2 Lakers.
Well, right now, Kobe is guarding Adrian Griffin, so he can be like a center fielder, try to disrupt the Maverick offense.
Chris Mim tried to tap it over. Howard saves it. Who's going to get it? Good job, Bryant. Cook. Make sure Nowitzki didn't get to it. Kobe on the run. Up against Griffin with a spin. And the Lakers increase their lead to 7-2.
Well,
Nifty move.
I can't say enough about the play of Bryant Cook that led to 2 points. Without him diving for that ball and tapping it to Kobe, the Mavericks get possession of it.
Now in 2.5 minutes, they've already produced 50% of their output in the first quarter from Sunday night when they had 14. Step back, Nowitzki. 6th leading scorer in the NBA, 26 a game. That kind of length would fall away to boot. 7-4 Lakers.
Lakers getting much better at getting into their offensive sets.
Early. And now it's Smush lost the handle. Griffin. The Lakers are back in the transition. Nowitzki got Cook off his feet. And then the grab. So Bryant Cook with the foul.
Well, speaking of Bryant Cook, I talked about his effort a minute ago when he dove for the loose ball. It's free, and all of a sudden, Nowitzki's there. Thought he was going to pick it up. And Bryant Cook dives, taps it to Kobe. Kobe does the rest with his acrobatics.
So Bryant Cook with his first. Now Dampier setting up Griffin. And Adrian Griffin, who they picked up. You remember he started a few games for the Chicago Bulls. Played for a couple of others. And then out of the league until all of a sudden the injuries hit.
So the one thing that he can do that should always, shouldn't say always, but gets him jobs is he can play defense.
Good entry from Lamar to Chris Mihm. Everything but the finish. So now the Mavericks look for their first lead of the game. Lakers 7-6. Lakers are starting the contest 3 through 6.
Eric Dampier.
Yeah, Dampier's an interesting one.
Well, first of all, he should have dunked the ball because he had lost his sight there of where the rim was when he went up.
Kobe with a beautiful look.
Kobe's shot really looks fluid again tonight, but seemingly it always looks fluid. It's just the end result that is better some nights than others.
How about Kobe with 8 of the first 9 for the Lakers? Second leading scorer in the league. A little over 30 a game. Nowitzki for 3. And it'll be saved. No, out of bounds. Now go back to Dampier.
Well, first of all, when you're 7 foot, you just don't lay it up. Look at this. I mean, you dunk the ball. I mean, that's the highest percentage shot in the game. He tries to shoot it off the glass. He does. From one side of the glass to the other. Never drew iron.
We saw that a couple of games ago here, but I'm not going to bring it up. Inside of 8 left in the first quarter. Lamar, yes! So Lamar's already matched his output from last game. 3 points. 12-6 Lakers, and Avery wants a timeout.
Well, Avery needs a timeout because Avery's the kind of a coach that is really trying to preach, obviously, the offensive end, but he wants them to play good defense. And the Lakers have started out on a roll, making 5 out of 8 from the field. Lamar capping it off with his first shot of the night. Happened to be a 3, and the Lakers jump out on top by 6, 12-6. Well, 7:43 to go here in the first quarter, and the Lakers on top by 6. And last week, the Lakers and the Mavericks faced one another in Dallas, and it was quite a meeting. And the Lakers win into Dallas and playing confidently, and they continued that play, led by number 8, Kobe Bryant. He had himself quite a ball game. I mean, quite a ball game. But the shot that everybody remembered was the one that the Lakers down 1, shot clock winding down, and Kobe shoots a 30-footer and puts the Lakers up, and they eventually won it by 3.
We knew we were sitting on something special at halftime, didn't we? 58-56 Lakers. We got up like, whoa. It was really something else. And the Lakers play a real clean game as it's tapped out off the miss. So a second chance. How about a third? No. Yes, it is going to be a third. Usually a long rebound, and that's what you got to worry about is Howard. Yeah, he took a real quick step. Chris Mihm has it taken away, but stayed with the play, and now it's stolen by Griffin. A 4th try. You believe this? And Dampier.
You give a team 3 times in tries, and you normally pay the price.
Well, you better increase your lead off of it because they're 3 for 13. And Bryant Cook does exactly that. 14-6. Lakers by 8 after that sequence. Do you believe it?
Well, that's what happens. And you get 4 chances and you don't score. Rest assured the opposition is going to score on their attempt.
Yeah, on the pick and roll. That's the way you finish. He finished strong that time with a reach and a foul. So it stops a 7-0 run. And the foul.
Nice job by Jason Terry coming off the high screen. And all of a sudden, off the dribble to bounce pass. And I guess he decided, well, I missed the last one because I tried to get cute. I'm not going to be cute on this one. I'm going to hammer it. Gets a 3-point opportunity.
Second year of a max 6-year deal. Okay. 6:43 to play in the first quarter. That was a sign and trade to get him. As you remember, Nahara and a couple of others went the other way to Golden State. Then Nahara ended up in Denver late last year. Lakers up by 5. 3-point play, and it's thrown away. Smush a little bit too early on the release. Kobe had not gotten the position. And you know what I mentioned? Right when we were talking about the Monday game, the thing I loved about it, only 8 turnovers in that game last Monday for the Lakers.
You have to keep possession of the ball to increase your chances of winning. You keep turning it over, your chances keep going down to 2.
Right, that's already the 3rd giveaway for the Lakers. Nowitzki, I think he likes that shot.
Again, I forgot, this is my bad. I was going to tell Brian Cook about learning how to start stripping Dirk from the floor to his waist, because once he gets it past there and gets it over his head, you don't block his shot.
Lamar, too strong, but batted all the way out by Chris Mims. Kobe keeps it alive with a little leaner, and Kobe does it again. 16-11. How hot is Kobe? Wow. He's got 10, and he's 4 of 5, making 5 of 6 now, Stu.
That was just another hustle play by Kobe. 2 Mavericks had a chance at the ball, but Kobe's speed and desire just got him the ball before they got there.
Dallas Mavericks also a very good rebounding team, as Marquise Daniels in for the first time, and he lost it. Chris Mims came over to help out Lamar Odom on the run and smush. Trying to lose Griffin, and Griffin grabs him. That'll be a couple of free throws for Parker.
Good job of getting from offense to defense, getting out in the transition. I keep talking about Kobe's efforts and the way he beats players to the ball, because he plays this game with such an amount of passion and energy that he's always going to be one of the first to the loose balls. And tonight, he's really got his jumper working, even the little floating jump shot, right. 5 out of 6, 10 of the Lakers' 16 points.
And he's got 4 of their first 7 boards. Smush still at about 39% from three-point land, even though three-pointer was not there for the Lakers, but they stuck with it way too much in the last game against the Houston Rockets. And the Lakers they've gotten away from the three-point play. They've been moving the ball, getting better looks as Devin George comes in. Bryant Cook will sit down. He already had 2 early fouls. And Smush, you got to make your free throws. You're a guard, you better make a good 80%.
And also come in for the Mavericks is Sagana Job. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue his fine play. They're very, very happy with him as Smush goes 0 for 2 from the charity stripe.
Wasted opportunity for the Lakers after the setup for Smush. 16-11. The Lakers 1 of 4. Smush rather 1 of 4 at the strike. Now Josh Howard, mismatch, the fall away over Chris Mims.
Josh Howard keeps the ball nice and high over his head as well. And he did a good job of getting separation from Chris Mims. Otherwise, Chris might have been able to affect that shot.
Dallas Mavericks coming into the game 9th in the league in scoring, 2nd in the league in field goal percentage. They'll come off Chris Mims. The hot hand is Kobe. Got to make a decision. It was knocked away, so Chris had it ripped away, and it should be Nowitzki. Let's see if they actually called it on him. Yes. So he gets his first. Man, the Mavericks out of fouls the rest of the quarter. 4:51 to play in the first 12 minutes, and that is their 4th team foul. Chris on his way up will shoot 2.
Well, let's see what they can do about converting now. You know, the Lakers, as hot as they may be from the field, thanks to Kobe, they're equally as cold from the charity stripe. 1 out of 4. Chris to shoot 2.
Okay.
Making 1 out of 5. When you're shooting 20% from the gift, and that's what that is, that's an absolute gift. They're not going to win many games.
The Lakers 17th in the league percentage-wise at the strike, facing a 75% shooting team. The Dallas Mavericks are 11th best. And Chris Mims gets 1 of 2. So the Lakers up by 4, 17-13. They have already exceeded their output from the first quarter of last game, but you knew that was going to happen. The level of competition is up, and your play is going to be up. And that's the case tonight. They wanted to go over the top of Kobe fronting Howard, and you believe it, Kobe's going to get a foul even though he was in front of Josh Howard.
Kobe was trying to front him there, and that's what happened. Then when he tried to get back around, Josh Howard did a pretty good job of locking him up and then almost pulling him down. That's a good job by Josh. Front, he keeps trying to get around, then a little bit off balance play there, and they both go to the floor.
He was smart, though. You see the way he locked Kobe's arm? He sold it. Now, almost tapped away. And it stays in bounds off Olandis Poole, one of the 3 officials. He's working with Leroy Richardson. The lead as Nowitzki tries one of those long rainbows. Here's Steve Javie.
You talk about a difficult shot to get to, and that's Dirk Nowitzki. He's 7 foot. He falls away with it and keeps it high over his head.
Chris Mims wanted the entry. It was going to be a difficult one, and now Kobe hit on his way in. Versus it anyway, even with the contact early.
They saw that shot in Dallas, and they're seeing it again here at Staples Center. So Kobe working his magic along the baseline.
Kobe 6 of 7. He's got 12 of the first 19 for the Lakers. Got too close. Nowitzki again on the step back. So Nowitzki trying to keep up with him. He's got 8. The Lakers by 4, 19-15. The Lakers getting 2/3 of their shots. That's the problem with the Mavericks at only 39%. Chris Midd, great position, and with the left hand doesn't get the finger roll.
Well, I don't know if Chris Will tried to use the glass or just wanted to shoot it straight in that time. As it turns out, he missed it. That's a play there where see, breakdown defensively coming back.
Stay with
nobody
talked. Nowitzki.
Nobody talked. When you got early offense, you really have to do a lot of communicating because sometimes you have cross matches where the guy you're guarding isn't guarding you, so it's hard to get to him. So Lakers didn't communicate. Phil Jackson not very happy. He's called the timeout still. 3 minutes and 11 to go here in the first quarter. And Kobe trying to keep the Lakers on top, showing them all of the arsenal. That's just beautiful basketball. That's athleticism. I don't think you teach that particular move. You either have it or you don't. And guess what? Kobe, you got it.
The team with the 3rd best record of the NBA at Staples Center tonight, the Dallas Mavericks, coming in at 18-6. And wow, has Kobe turned it up a notch already tonight, Stu?
Oh, I mean, he started this game off. Well, he's just an amazing player. But when you're talking about the great ones, and he classifies as that, he's 6 out of 7 from the field. 6 out of 7. His shooting percentage of late has been spectacular. I mean, the first 16 games, 42%. Well, he's made the adjustment as to what defensively teams are doing. So in the last 8 games, his percentage has really risen quite a bit.
Kwame Brown in, so is Sasha. Devin George had taken over for Bryant. Kobe stays out there, and Kobe will get it again. And Kobe could have a double-double by the end of the quarter. That is his 5th board. Inside he goes, creates contact, and looks for the three-point play.
You see how he jumped that time?
Yes.
He had more of an open lane if he goes straight to the glass when he got past his defender, but he jumps right into the chest of the big to stop him from being able to really elevate and get the block. Right there he goes right into him. Contact. Counted and 1. That classifies as a blocking foul. And Kobe goes to the line to see if he can complete the three-point play. On his way to point number 15.
He's got it. Keep at the free throw line. The other guys haven't been able to do it there. And Kobe, well, he's hitting his jumpers, hit the free throw. Three-point play. Marquise Daniels, he's missed the last 2 with a strained neck. You knew he'd be ready for this one. Devin Harris in there for the first time tonight. The first-round pick last year out of Wisconsin.
He hurt the Lakers with his ability to get to the charity stripe, so you got to keep him off the line.
Go runner. And the Lakers weren't ready for the board, and Job almost beats him with a second-chance opportunity.
Nice recognition by Job. I don't know if his teammates were yelling at him from the bench, but there were only 3 seconds when he shot it.
Devin. He had a clean look. But the Lakers, as I mentioned, they didn't do anything for the three-point line. And Sasha's got the foul from behind.
Smart play by Devin Harris that time. What he did was Sasha on his left side, and Sasha's trying to run back and try to get in front of him, but Harris kept keeping the angle away from him by keeping the body going on him, and that kept contact, and finally the whistle.
22-17. Lakers by 5, and I hope they don't fall in love with 3. Sasha, Devin, last game, you remember they were combined 2 for 10. Get the ball inside, create contact. They almost took it away. Marquise Daniels found his clone, Josh Howard, on the jump stop. Almost been an incredible play. And last touch, well, it's saved. I thought it was headed out of bounds off Lamar. That's a break.
Well, it was definitely headed out of bounds off of Lamar, but real estate was in the Lakers' favor, and Devin George was able to track it down.
Final 2 minutes, Devin. The deuce. That's good. The Lakers lead by 7. So Devin got a little closer. Final 95 seconds. And Sasha's got another foul, even though he thought he had the position. He tries to sell it, but he's going to go to the bench with his second, I believe.
Now that brings Luke Walton off the bench in a hurry, but I don't know if that was for Sasha or it was coming in for somebody else. But with the free throw opportunity here, it'll give Phil Jackson a chance to assess if he wasn't sending him in for Sasha, maybe he better. Yeah, he's coming in for Lamar.
Right,
yeah.
So he'll take over for Lamar, the small forward spot. And now a real small lineup. And Van Horn, all of a sudden, he looks like the Jolly Green Giant in that uniform with the lineup on the floor. Sagana, Job, and Kwame, the true big guys on the floor.
We talked, or at least I did, talked about Devin Harris hurting the Lakers from the charity stripe in that last game. And already he gets to the line for two, misses one of the two, but you got to keep him off the line.
Yeah, it's interesting the kind of calls that we talked about that he got to the line with last game. Devin with the shot clock coming down, got to make a decision. And now it's Kwame. And boy, Devin, with 5-4 left on the shot clock, you're going to a guy who's got his back to the clock anyway.
That was one of those possessions where the Lakers wasted a lot of time trying to get into their set, actually trying to get it to Kobe to start with, and they couldn't.
Now you talked about Devin Harris. How about 10 of 10 to the line last game on that run? He blows a good look. Yeah, he took it away, but it's going to be a reach. Devin Harris and a couple of free throws coming up for Devin George.
The Lakers dodged one there because it looked like the Mavericks were going to be able to come up with that steal after the easy miss or the missed shot of an easy shot by Devin Harris. But the foul ensued, and now free throws are coming. Who's going to the line, Devin George or Kwame Brown?
Well, when you look at the numbers, Stu, 24-18, you think the Lakers should be up by more. 33% for the field for the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers 59% so far.
And that's just misleading.
Right.
Take Kobe out of that mix. And
without
what are
a doubt. And the missed free throws by the Lakers, although Kwame. And they said Kwame there. I thought it was Devin George, but Kwame gets the first.
Laurent Prophet comes in for Kobe with less than a minute to play. And Kobe really carrying the load offensively. Doesn't have, he does have one foul. But when you got it rolling like that as a player, never like to come out of that. You know, you want to, till my tongue drags on the floor, I'm good.
Yeah, till the hot hand dries up. And another miss at the stripe. And are we going to have a lane violation?
No, there's some blood on Kwame. They have to.
Yes, he got a cut. It looks like across his arm.
They're trying to find it.
58.1 to play. Lakers by 7. That matches their largest lead of the first half. And they've done a good job across the board, but they have not succeeded at the free throw line. That's the biggest minus right now. You have 5 misses in the first quarter alone at the free throw line.
Well, maybe they
4
won't
of 9.
They'll go the rest of the game. They won't miss it.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Well, it's the Grizzlies and the Lakers a week from tomorrow night. Join us. Hard to believe. Only home for 3. Now gone for 3 again. Now, it'll bode well if the Lakers can get a winning formula at home, because there's going to be a ton of home games down the stretch for the Lakers. The schedule is much better after the All-Star break for the Lakers when it comes to home and road. Now, Kobe the hot hand. Now Lamar and Kobe, don't forget, in the final minute of play, are going to be on the bench. So they tend to Kwame, and we are ready to go.
Well, let's see what the last 58 of the first quarter will do with the Lakers' number 1 and number 2 punch sitting it out. But this unit, they've had some opportunities to play well during this streak of 8 to 9 games, and they've played pretty well.
Laurent Prophet up against Daniels on the follow away, making Howard, and Sasha's got it on the opposite side. Way too long.
You see how Laurent Prophet challenged that shot, and that ended up being almost a brick by Howard.
Barely got across the rim. Now Kwame in the post. Will they repost it? No. Nice pick. Laurent Prophet right on line. Too strong. So good look for Laurent. And for the high screen.
And when you run your offense and you miss a shot within the offense, coaches can't say a word. Obviously, they would like for you to make the shot, but they know you're not missing shots on purpose. So as long as you get shots in the offense, when you start forcing shots and missing them, all of a sudden now they got a different story.
Van Horn. And that'll do it as they miss the corner jumper. So Sasha tried to sell it, and Van Horn rode him all the way to the floor. They both went down, but the Lakers, well, they got a break at the end of the quarter as well.
Well, they rode the 15 points to Kobe into this first quarter lead, and they are really happy that that young man showed up. They're also happy that their defense is being pretty effective. Dallas missing their last 7 shots from the field. That has enabled the Lakers to go back up by 7. 3 quarters left to play. Can the Lakers put together a full game?
Ladies and gentlemen, he played 7 years with the Lakers, a member of 3 World Championship teams. Tonight, we are giving him his last jersey that he wore. On your feet, time to greet number 17, Rick Fox.
This was the scene while we were away, and everybody on their feet at Staples Center. one of the most loved Lakers in recent years, and a big part of those banners up on the wall here at Staples Center. What a good person. What a you talk about, we bring up chemistry and glue guys in the locker room. Rick Fox epitomized that.
Yeah, Rick was one of those players that, just when you think about a basketball team, Rick is one of those players that just epitomizes team. I mean, the guy knows whatever it takes to help his team win. In that first quarter, it was Kobe and Dirk getting it done offensively. Kobe leading the way, obviously, with 15. Mavericks only shot 31%. They ought to be very happy that they're only down by 7.
Right. Nowitzki is back in. How about Kobe 7 of 8 and the rest of the squad 3 of 10 from the field? Well, it's got to pick up for the rest of the guys then. Nobody has got more than 3 among the starting 5 except for Kobe. And there's a breakdown defensively to start things off.
Real nice look by Dirk. Caught the ball on an ISO play, and as Keith Van Horn was wide open, Dirk makes the nice pass.
So the Lakers give up a deuce. Luke with contact. And bouncing off Devin Harris.
Well, if he's going to match up with Devin Harris, don't try to take him off the dribble like that. It was successful that time. Take him to the box where all you have to do is catch it and use your size.
Man, Devin Harris slicing his way into the paint with an answer off the window.
And he is guarding Luke, so Luke should go to the box and just use his size advantage.
Kobe went around the double and is grabbed by Jason Terry. What a decoy. Before Kwame could even come out to set, he was gone.
Well, and that's what we call the explosion step, because when a defensive player knows that somebody's coming to set a screen, they start hedging toward the screen, wanting to get over it. And then you just go away from the screen real hard, real quick, and you can find yourself open going to the basket.
Real alert play by Kobe before they could respond, but that's the kind of start he's had tonight. So the Lakers send the right guy to the line. Not even a minute gone by in the second quarter as the Lakers try to win the homestand. And now on Lakers Live Wired tonight, the man we were just talking about, who was honored between the first and second quarters, given his jersey, Rick Fox courtside. Rick, you want to put that jersey back on?
It's very tempting right now, but we got a lead, so I'm quite all right over here.
I tell you, Rick, you look as good, if not better, than you did when you retired. How you doing it?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of time left to take care of the body. And as you know, with the season in the NBA, most of your downtime is spent recovering as opposed to training. And right now I got a lot of free time, so I get to work out 5 days a week.
Free time? What do you mean free time? You're not getting into the business?
I'm sorry?
Are you getting into the acting business?
Yeah. I've been on a show called Love Inc. on UPN on Thursday nights at 8:30. There's a little plug for them. And I go back in January, back to work for 5 more episodes on that show, and I've enjoyed it. There's also some other development going on, and I'm just staying active.
Following the side as they go over the top, the mismatch. Luke Walton saw it. We're talking with Rick Fox on Lakers Live Wired. Rick, tell us, because we were just talking about how much we appreciated what you brought to the locker room, a chemistry, a glue guy, a total team player. What do you miss the most about putting on the uniform and being with those guys?
Well, right now, from this side of the court, I'm not actually in the game. That's probably the competition is one thing I miss the most, but also competing with a group of guys who you spend your years with. And like I look at Kobe, I've been watching Kobe and Luke now, and also seeing Devin and Cookie and these guys I played with. You remember the times you battled together, and you miss that.
You'd mentioned competing with Kobe, etc. In practice a lot. You matched up a little bit with number 8. How defensively, and you were known as a defender, how difficult a task is guarding Kobe Bryant?
Well, he made me a better defender every night, because I wasn't going to see a better 2-guard in the league outside of practice. And for that, anytime I stepped on the court to defend an individual, I had the utmost confidence knowing that I had a good chance of doing a decent job.
Kobe gets a couple, Lakers by 6. Rick, you never want to be a broadcaster, do you? You're smarter than that, aren't you, Rick?
I'm sorry. It's a little loud down here.
You're not inclined. You're reading scripts. You have no inclination at all to be a broadcaster, right?
It's a compliment to think that people might want to hear me talk about basketball, but I enjoy watching. I'm in the fan mode. I'm trying out this fan mode right now to see if I can do that, as opposed to... You guys do an incredible job. I'd rather sit at home and listen to you guys and listen to other people who talk about it and have far more experience and know-how than I do.
talking with Rick Fox.
Rick, tell me a little bit about where you think the Lakers need to make the most improvement defensively.
Well, for me, personally, I think they, as a young team, they've continued to make strides, and it was exciting to see that last road trip that they go out on the road and they have a 5-1 record, which hasn't been duplicated since I think it was in the early 2000s, and that's exciting because young teams don't do that. And so there had to be some form of defense played for that to happen. And I look at the team tonight, and this style of game right here is more of an up-tempo scoring, push the ball, more layups than normal, but they definitely have the capability of playing defense. They're athletic, they're long. There's a number of guys out here on the court right now that are very long, from Lamar Odom to Devin George to LeBron Prophet. So you think that it's just a conscious effort. First principle of defense, obviously, is staying between your man and the basket.
Yeah, that was an easy one for Kobe, wasn't it, over Nowitzki?
Once you start from there, then you just don't compromise a lot of your position. And I find myself sitting over here calling out picks, but calling out picks for different guys. But talking is another principle.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned talking, and I think that's one of the principles that, from a defensive standpoint, that a lot of teams don't really emphasize enough. And you see players get blindsided, or a player's wide open solely because there wasn't any verbal communication.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been on the bus and on the plane, Stu, Joe, you guys know how much we talk there.
Right.
So to get into an arena in a combative situation like this, where you got 5 guys you're working with, you talk to them all day long. So why not talk to them out there? It's a simple thing to do, but for some reason it's lost art.
Yeah, the communication process continues. Now, you're working the officials down there for the Lakers, aren't you, Rick?
Steve Javie, of all people, right, to be a referee in this game. he and I have
one of your favorites.
He's definitely teched me up a number of times across my career, but I haven't got his eye yet, but I have yelled at him once already.
Rick Fox with us tonight on Lakers Live Wired. Oh, Rick, and you definitely don't want to sit on a bench. You're not going to be a coach either, right?
I would never say never to any of those things. It's too much. I have too much love for the game.
Right.
I have too much love for the Lakers.
See, I'm saying it because we'd like to see you back in the game eventually.
That's kind of why I had to stay away for a while, man, Joel. I tell you the truth. It's that fear that if I got down here, that I'd try to head over there and put on a uniform. And now I'm quite assured now that that's not a possibility. So I can come and be a fan.
Yeah, the run continues for the Dallas Mavericks, as the Mavericks now are only down by 2. We continue our conversation with 8:45 to play in the half. The former Laker Rick Fox is between the first and second quarters. Gave Rick the last jersey he played in. Framed as Luke Walton puts the Lakers back up by 4. Andrew Bynum and some of the younger ones. Kwame Brown comes over. It's got to be encouraging for you, as you said, 5-1 on the road trip. Now, do you track the Lakers? Do you, like us, obviously, do you build your schedule around Laker games?
Yeah, I do. I got them on TiVo. I go home, I watch them sometimes at times of the night that maybe most people don't watch basketball. But yeah, I don't miss a game. I watch out of interest because I want to see not only the guys I played with do well, but now that Phil and the coaching staff are back together, I want to see them have success. I watch with obviously with a critical eye, and I make my calls to management, and Mitch and I get out sometimes, and we share our thoughts. And there's not a bigger Laker fan out there now. Obviously, there's a lot of Laker fans, but I consider myself one of the biggest because my heart is with this organization, and I want us to rise to the top again.
One last thing, Rick, and you mentioned with the Lakers having Phil Jackson back, you have having played for him real quickly. How was it playing for Phil Jackson?
Well, I just recognized I missed that whistle of his, and I've seen him give a couple guys a couple looks and a couple yells, and his passion is obviously there, and his enthusiasm for the game and getting this team to play at a higher level is there, and I'm excited to know that he's back being driving the ship here for the Lakers.
Yeah, we're all lucky to have Phil back. We agree with you on that. Rick, congratulations on the ceremony tonight. By the way, we all miss you, Rick. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Rick Fox.
Happy holidays from the Lakers and FSN West.
Welcome back once again to Staples Center. Joel Myers along with Stu Lance, a 36-32 lead for the Lakers over the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers win tonight. They will win the season series from the Dallas Mavericks. Only appearance of Dallas at Staples against the Lakers this year. They'll face the Clippers again here, but it's their only appearance in town against the Lakers. And we saw it against Minnesota, only 3 games against the T-Wolves last year. Well, it's only 3 against the Dallas Mavericks this season. And the Lakers have owned this team at home. 45-9 all time.
And for those that don't know the deal, next year they'll play this team 4 times and somebody else they'll only face 3. In the last 7 games against the Lakers, the Mavs are 4-3. The previous 66 games, we're stretching this all the way back, 8-58. Wow. But the Lakers have some pretty good records against most teams.
Without a doubt. Deflection. Smush got his hand on the ball. Kobe on the run. Good distance, and he's grabbed. And now the tumble, unfortunately, but fortunately for Kobe, he had a cushion.
Yeah, the guy that fouled him. They actually tried to hold Kobe up.
Right.
And that was Devin Harris. And you talked about the Lakers getting going, and it's going on the defensive end. Out of bounds play, tapped by Smush, and the Lakers in transition. Kobe gets fouled, and then falling down, it's Devin Harris on the bottom of the pile. And Kobe, as you mentioned, had a little bit of cushion. He's looking for point number 21 here.
Yeah, and how about 8 for 11 from the field so far, as he's got his 21st. He is 4 of 5, making 5 of 6 now at the free throw line with 5 boards. Luke Walton will sit down, but what a good job he did while he was in there, finding his teammates. Short minutes, already 2 early assists for Luke Walton.
Well, that's Luke doing what Luke does, and he also has made his only 2 field goal attempts, so 4 points and 2 assists for Luke in only about 6-7 minutes.
Kobe barely moved the twine that time. 38-32. Largest lead for the Lakers so far in this game has been 8. We want to thank Rick Fox, one of our all-time favorites, for joining us earlier tonight on Lakers Live. What a jam by Devin Harris down the middle of the lane.
You let Small come down the lane, and he just posterized a few people. That's a nice play, Mr. Harris.
Smush Parker probing. Nothing available inside. Harris used it up at the opposite end, obviously. Kobe wanted to jump it in when Nowitzki came over with a double. All of a sudden, the mindset changed.
I want to see Devin Harris.
Howard fouled by George. Will go to the line to shoot 2.
Boy, a lot of pressure at midcourt, and Devin Harris just explodes and then takes off from the dotted line and says, "Take this." That is nice. Whew.
Did you like that a little?
Oh, yeah, that is very nice.
They've got 6 in double figures in Devin Harris in his second season. Their first-round pick out of Wisconsin last year has a 12 a game. Van Horn 11. How about 6? Boy, talk about balance. Marquise Daniels 13, 15 for Howard. And then it's Nowitzki way up there, 26 with 17 so far a game for Jason Terry. So the Lakers by 4. Howard gets another after missing the first. 1 of 2 at the stripe. Inside of 7 left in the first half. You knew it was going to be a high-scoring game. We had 58-56 at the half of the game Monday night in Dallas. Lakers led by 2. Lakers still at 58%, up to 42% though for the Mavericks. And Kobe had Marquise Daniels coming over his back.
You know, when you have a player that is trailing you on a play like that, you know he's trailing you. If you just stop, he has to run up your back. He gets the foul in that manner. Kobe did a good job of just sealing him, made him try to come over the right shoulder, picked up the contact, and Kobe back to the stripe where he's 6 out of 7.
You remember when Cliff Robinson, when he was 6th man of the year with the Portland Trailblazers, would change the color of his headband all the time?
Yeah.
So you could pick him out easily? And there weren't clones on the floor for him. I mean, from where we are upstairs at Staples, Daniels, Howard, twin sons from different mothers.
Are you saying they should be changing their headbands or something?
Well, or just wrap it differently. With wide receivers, you can look at the tape on their wrists, their fingers, and you can pick up all little things in the NFL. These guys look a lot alike. Oh, that's Smush with another steal.
Kobe created that.
Yes, Smush, the finger roll.
Well, see, Smush wanted to do what Devin Harris did, but I think Smush took off a little too soon and ran out of airtime.
On his way down too close to the rim. The Lakers more points off a mistake. The Lakers back up by 7. Boy, Smush has been in the middle of a couple of takeaways. What a stroke over Lamar, who's not exactly short either with his length, and especially when he extends the arms. 42-37. Nowitzki with 15 on 7 of 11. And that's after a slow start. Kobe, ball knocked around first by Daniels. Finally, he's got a double. He'll have to go. And can he get it back? No, out of bounds. And I said he had to go because Chris Mim had already set up at the paint for a while.
About 5:43 to go. The Lakers still holding on to a lead. It's a 5-point lead. Phil Jackson trying to figure out how they can make it even more.
Laker basketball on FSN West is brought to you by the official airlines of the NBA, Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And by Pepsi, it's the Cola.
Free the entire road.
Welcome back once again to Southern California. Joel Myers along with Stu Lance. 5:43 to play in a very entertaining first half between two of the highest scoring teams in the league, the Mavericks and the Lakers. And tomorrow, good matchup, Pac-10 basketball. It'll be the Pac-10 of the ACC. It's the number 7 team in the nation. North Carolina on the road taking on USC. So a rare non-conference showdown here in LA with the Tar Heels in town. Recruiting purposes, I guarantee you. Coverage all starts at 7:30 right here on FSN West. Subtle look. Kevin James courtside tonight. Looks too stressed out, doesn't he?
He's a character.
What a great look. Now the Lakers doing a good job to stay in front because the Mavericks have been unbelievably hot in the second quarter, hitting 8 of their first 11 tries. Still a ton of time left in the half. Where these two can put it in. Here comes the double. Marquise Daniels just saw it coming. Jason Terry back into the game.
Ooh.
Extra step? No, not much. Griffin setting up Daniels. Taken away by Devin George.
See what Devin did? That's what I was talking about. That off the smush. That hit smush.
Hit smush. Now they're going to give the Lakers a break. They're going to say it hit the baseline before it hit smush. Smush got away with one there.
I was talking about how against Brian Cook against Dirk Nowitzki, stripping him from the waist, from the floor to his waist. That's what Devin George did to start the Lakers in transition. Against certain players, you can do that because I think Dirk is a guy that will definitely show you the basketball.
Call the moving pick on Chris Mim. As we saw, though, in the replay, the Lakers got a break anyway. It was last touched. It was bounced inbounds and then went off smush way out of bounds. So it goes back to Dallas. 5:20 left in the half, 42-37.
And then the illegal screen by Chris Mim, and we're right back where we were at the timeout. Let's see if Devin George can get another strip.
Daniels getting it finally with the lead guard, Jason Terry. Terry's way up average-wise after coming over early last season. Pivot and barely drawing iron. That's a rarity for Dirk Nowitzki. That's a patented move of his on that spin and then drop step. He falls away for a big guy. How about the footwork? Now Kobe, deep three. Got it! Lakers lead by 8.
That young man is
for
on
Kobe.
A roll, boy. He caught that one. He didn't even hesitate. The second defender had no chance to get to him.
Smush held off by Jason Terry. That's a veteran move. And Smush coming over to Steve Javie saying, he's holding my arm.
Look, Adrian Griffin out there on that island, and Kobe says, you better bail out because if they leave you here by yourself, you're going to be in deep trouble.
And Kobe's already been at the free throw line a lot tonight. 8 of 9 so far as Terry will shoot 2. But Stu and I have talked about it a couple of times. He could be there even more tonight. The way he has been inside and drawn contact as Terry gets the first of 2. Former Arizona Wildcat. And he hit some shots, some interesting ones when he was a member of the Atlanta Hawks. They asked him to score a lot there. Won a championship with the Wildcats. That program continues to be one of the best in college basketball. 1 of 2, and Devin George made sure it did not get back to the shooter. Good play.
No, it's just fundamental basketball.
Right.
You box the shooter out, and you get the long rebound yourself.
Kobe, early entry, off the window. Got it again. You know things are going well.
Off the window twice.
You got it. Lakers with the biggest lead of the game. He's got 29 of the first 47 for the Lakers.
29 with 4 minutes to play in the half.
One of those nights.
For him.
Isolation. Nowitzki wants to go down against Lamar. Batted away from Dampier, and it stayed in bounds. I thought it was going to crawl over the glass. Kobe coming away with it after Chris Mim did a lot of work. Another, almost. Had to wait.
That was definitely a heat check there. I mean, because in transition, he just said, hey, I'm hot, and I'm going to take it.
Dampier's headed to the line. They're going to call Mim on the hole. Chris is saying, good. Give me that foul every trip down 2. Second on Chris. As the Lakers and Mavericks as well. Both teams out of fouls. Kwame Brown's going to be coming in before Chris can get a third.
Keith Van Horn coming back in for the Mavericks as well, so giving Dirk a much-needed rest. So this is the stage now where defensively, obviously, Keith Van Horn is not Dirk Nowitzki. So they should be able to really increase their intensity individually and not have to worry too much about helping out on Keith Van Horn.
Eric Dampier. Style is interesting, but it worked. Dampier at the free throw line, 48% so far this season, averaging, and for a lot of money, averaging 6 points and 7 boards. 47-39, and he got both. 47-40, despite the fact the Lakers are shooting 58.5%. They're only up by 7. Now get it across the line, and good move. Smush past it across the line. Lamar leaving it off, nobody at home. There's a break, could have been a turnover. Lamar hit a 3, instead Smush for a 3, and it'll go out of bounds. Lamar hit that early 3. He's only 1 for 2 with a couple of boards in 16 minutes of play. So again, we talked about Lamar taking a few more than 5 shots like the last game.
Well, and again, one of the things that Lamar and all the players have to learn to do, and that is when Kobe has a hot hand going, they still have to get themselves involved a little bit.
Keith Van Horn doesn't get the roll.
They find themselves being spectators with Kobe a little too much when he's rolling like he's rolling right now.
Now Lamar. They wanted him to bounce it inside. He's go deeper into the hole. And off the deflection, Kobe will get it. Over Daniels. Another 3. Kobe puts the Lakers up by 10, 50-40 at 32 points and counting for Kobe.
Oh, my goodness.
What a show.
Well, yeah, I know it's early yet to start talking about it, but his career high is 56, so.
First half, maybe. Plenty of time. 2:37 to play in the half. Well, hit the hot hand, please. Kobe. Everybody wants it.
The crowd wants him to shoot it.
Off the dribble. And it'll be Devin keeping it alive with Kwame. And they'll reset it. I thought he'd turn around with a little baby hook. 2:20 left and a second chance opportunity for the Lakers. He's Daniels. Will he get to it? Out of bounds. Last touch by Daniels.
All right, the angle of the pass Lamar tried wasn't good. I mean, too flat of an angle. You have to take another dribble or two over, increase your passing lane and angle, and that'll be a better entry pass. Kobe Bryant sitting on the bench, and boy, this crowd, they're starting to buzz a lot because they realize that number 8 has it rolling. I'd say 32 in the first half is rolling. Well, the Lakers own a 10-point advantage with 2:15 to play, and in large part, thanks to that man, Kobe Bryant. I mean, he has got it rolling. 32 points here in the first half, and he's hit an array of different-looking shots. Double kisses off the glass, 3-pointers has been especially for him in this first half, as he's knocked down 2 out of 3 from that distance. Yeah, I know you got it rolling. 42 is the record for a half, and yeah, Kobe, you got that too. And he did that against the Wizards back when Michael Jordan made his last appearance at Staples Center. That's the night I thought he was going to go for about 80. But his season high is 46. His career high, 56. He did it a couple of times. One of the nights against the Wizards in that game, and also against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, he's got 12 of the last 14 for the Lakers. Lamar, good look inside. It was contested, but I like the aggression, the initiative of Lamar right out of the timeout on the spin in front.
But here's what worries me about Kobe's domination of the offense in the first half. Kobe has taken, as the Lakers fumble a rebound away, right. Kobe has taken 17 shots. The next most is 3.
And Devin. Easy foul to call.
But Devin was in great position. All he had to do was keep his hand straight up. But when he tried to bring it forward a little bit, that's where contact was made. I mean, he was in real good defensive position. Go up, don't come forward, Def. Oh, you did.
Remember, Shaq, he'd always keep the two arms up, and then that angle he'd take all of a sudden. Every time with Shaq.
And when you bring them forward and you get contact, you may not want to believe it, but it's going to be a foul on you.
Now, Kobe's season high, 46, and I only bring it up because of what you just talked about, dependency on one guy. 46 this year, his season high against New Jersey, and it came in an overtime loss here at home, 102-96. You can't fall asleep the rest of the guys.
Well, it's hard to jumpstart the other guys when they're out there, but they're not out there. I mean, they've got to get some shot attempts. So now with Kobe going out for a rest, somebody else is going to have to pick it up.
Smush, double clutch, and comes up short. Now Devin Harris on the run, going to his left side, blocked away by Lamar from behind. Good retreat by Lamar to get back into the play.
Good transition, almost to the point where Lamar probably could have taken this one out of his hands and not tried to block it. Just reach out and grab it. He didn't even see Lamar coming from behind.
And Lamar actually batted it off his hand. You'll never see it called that way, but good job by Lamar. Harris on the screen and roll. Van Horn trying to get the rim. Blocked by Kwame that time, and Lamar will get it. Great stop by the Lakers.
That's the kind of defense interiorly that they needed in their last game when someone drove to the basket.
Kwame held up by Dampier, and they're going to call a walk.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did as well.
Well, he shifted to the other side of the paint without putting it down.
But Kwame got it going with the defense. Keith Van Horn says, I got an E. Oh, my goodness. I didn't know Kwame could jump that high. Keith, yes, he can, as he just now showed it to you.
And then who's going to be quicker to the ball, Lamar or Keith Van Horn? I think I'll take Lamar on that call. 50-42, Lakers by 8, but only 8. Shooting still 53% compared to 36%. And only 8, and Dallas has missed their last 7.
Scary.
You got that. Final minute of the first half. Devin Harris trying to get inside. And he cleared out. Used his off arm, and it was seen that time. Smush Parker brought it up to Steve Jabby the last time he did it, and it paid off because Steve Jabby made the call.
And I like what Avery Johnson just did. Devin Harris wanted to complain on that call a lot. But Avery said, no, settle down. Let's just get back and play defense. And I think that helps your team a lot.
Now Lamar hard to the hole, draws the contact from Nowitzki. So Lamar, a couple of times out of that last time out.
But again, Kobe's on the bench now.
Right.
So Lamar has to be assertive. He has to be assertive. What he needs to do a little bit more is, even when Kobe's in the game, be assertive. Maybe not as much because Kobe has got it rolling. You know, Sunday against the Rockets, 5 shot attempts, 1 field goal. The previous 8 games, he had it going, shooting 61%. So it's the fine line for him is, when do I be the facilitator and when do I also be aggressive?
Well, 7 misses at the free throw line for the Lakers. 11 of 18. Lamar gets another, trying to put him back up by 9 with 42.2 to play, and we're just a couple of minutes away from joining Bill McDonald, Jack Haley. Jack in the Box halftime report is Lamar. Looks good on the second. Now how about a stop and a final shot for the Lakers?
Yeah, that'll give them a little bit of momentum going into halftime, because they put Dirk back on the floor with less than a minute to play to get some momentum for themselves.
Terry turned the corner, but Kwame was there. Lamar on the run. How about some contact? Well, he'll take the layup. Nowitzki just didn't want that third foul.
Well, and you know, that's a very smart play by Dirk.
You said it.
Well, I picked that third one up when they're so reliant upon him offensively as well. I'm not saying don't play defense, but look at the clock, look at the situation, and with this little bit of time left in the first half, the chances of him making that play successfully were slim to none.
Shot clock, game clock separated by right about 2 seconds. Kwame coming over. They'll dump it inside. Dampier fouled by Lamar. Would have counted had it gone. And now it would go to the free throw line as Lamar picks up his first foul.
Well, that play, that was a gamble by Kwame that obviously didn't pay off. You cannot double team from the box. He tried to double team from the box, and that left his man right up under the cup. And Dirk found him. As Kobe's getting ready to check in for the final shot, I would say. 6 seconds. Yeah, that's a pretty good gamble.
You know, he had that towel around his shoulders. Looked like James Brown in the wings off stage, and he threw that towel up, and he was back out there. So here comes Kobe for the final 6.3.
Let's see if Avery makes an adjustment here. But they took out Kwame and Devin, bring in 2 smalls.
Daniels is going to come in for Van Horn.
the chess game continues between the coaches.
So the Lakers by 10. Damp here, believe it or not, 4 at the free throw line.
Well, you said he was an excellent free throw shooter.
Beauty.
Well, he's just proving you right again. Look at that.
Yes. Well, that shooter's touch every time.
Absolutely, man. When you can shoot the ball that effectively, you're supposed to get those.
Here comes Kobe with the final shot of the half for the Lakers.
You think they'll double team him?
I was waiting for that. The three from Kobe. Oh, just barely off. So the Lakers go to the break thanks to Kobe's 32, up by 9.
Kobe having a chat with the official. He wanted to know. He thought he got fouled on that three-point attempt. Believe it or not, and Kobe says, well, even though I got fouled, they're not going to give me that call.
Yeah, what a display. It was a treat for all of us here courtside as Kobe turned it on. 32 in the first half. Lakers by 9 at the break. They're on top 53-44 over the Mavericks. Now let's join Billy McDonald, Jack Haley, the Jack in the Box halftime report.
Thank you, Joel. It is the Jack in the Box halftime report back inside Staples Center along with Jack Haley. I am Bill McDonald. Well, the current NBA Player of the Week, Kobe Bryant, showing exactly why he might be the best in the league. 32 points in the first half. He might challenge his career high, 56.
You know, Kobe has been absolutely spectacular and playing like one of the best players in the league. But what has impressed me so far is the defense the Lakers have played, holding the Mavericks to 44 points, 36% from the floor. Let's talk about Kobe when we come back.
Yeah, when we come back, Jack will tell you why Kobe is getting off tonight. We'll see you in a minute. Look out below, because here comes the big head of Jack Haley. It's Haley's comment, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Well, Kobe Bryant is one of 3 players in the NBA who currently averages over 30 points, and over his last 5 games against the Mavs, he's averaged nearly 38. He's doing it again tonight with 32 in the first half, 9-point Laker lead. All right, tell me why it's going easy for Kobe tonight.
I mean, it's easy to have Haley's comment in the flying head when Kobe Bryant is looking this way, but I'll tell you what. You look at Kobe and say, great half, but give Brian Shaw a lot of credit. They recognize something. This is called the blue defense for the Mavericks. What it means, overload the middle and give up the baseline. The Lakers watch tape. They recognize this from the last game. And Brian Shaw told Kobe to be very aggressive, attacking the baseline if you want to score. Now, what does that mean for the rest of the team? When Kobe is on the strong side, the weak side of the floor, as you can see, is not defended, is wide open. So move the basketball, get wide open shots, and convert shots. So Phil Jackson in the second half looked to move that basketball from side to side. Kobe's going to continue to attack the baseline if they stay in the blue defense. Problem, I expect Avery Johnson now to adjust to that and make the rest of the Lakers try to beat him. They're going to definitely try to attack Kobe from a different direction because the baseline is not getting it done.
Take me inside the numbers a little bit, because 8 other guys did score, but nobody more than 6, and that was from Lamar Odom.
And that is not a good stat for the Lakers. I mean, Lamar Odom was 6 for the last-minute flurry. He had 3 points going in the last minute. Walton with 4. No one else really on the board. Kobe Bryant can't do it alone. If they're going to win this game, I predict 3 or 4 Lakers have to score in double figures, because the Mavericks will only score 42 in the first half. You can believe in the second half, just like the Houston Rockets are going to come out firing. They were 0 for 7 from the three-point line. Believe me, that won't happen again. The Lakers have to get some help for Kobe. He's not going to have 32. He's going to have help from his teammates to win this game.
Here's your cliffhanger. Remember the last game? Lakers led by 11 at the half. It's 9 here tonight. Jack and I back with a final halftime comment when we come back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Very productive and strong first half for the Lakers, and Kobe in particular, as Kobe had 32. Very efficient, 32, and a high percentage as Kobe led the Lakers to a 9-point lead at the break. And welcome back once again, Joel Myers along with Stu Lance. The Lakers leading the Dallas Mavericks, looking for their second win over the Mavericks over the last 10 days. And Stu, it's interesting because you brought it up. Kobe has been phenomenal, but they can't fall asleep. The rest of the guys got to come through, and I bring it up because of the loss to New Jersey when he had 46, and they were waiting for him to do something special.
And that's the case. I mean, sometimes even his teammates get amazed at what he can do, so they stand around and they show their ticket stubs, and they don't have those, so it becomes a situation where they can't watch. They've got to continue to play. Kobe's carrying the load right now, but what happens when the defense makes the adjustment and starts taking the ball out of his hands as much as possible? Are we now in a rhythm as the other players that we can pick it up offensively? I mean, he is just absolutely putting on a show offensively with the 32 on 18 field goal attempts. That is efficient. It's really nice to watch as a spectator. The fans here are really enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching number 8 do his thing, but there's another half, and we're going to have to wait and see if the Laker defense can continue to do what they did in the first half, and that's hold the Mavericks to 36% shooting from the field. Keep them off the free throw line a little bit, cut down on the offensive rebounds, and the Lakers should be able to get themselves a victory.
So the Lakers, as Stu mentioned, are better than 50%. And during this stretch, holding another opponent below 40%. Now, the Lakers did a great job in the first half Sunday night in dominating an opponent defensively. Let's see if it'll carry over, because they gave up way too many points in the third quarter, as they only came up with 15. Don't forget they had only 14 in the first quarter on Sunday night. So fresh on our minds what occurred against the Houston Rockets when the Lakers did a great job defensively in that game. You allow an opponent only 76 points on your home floor, you'd better win about 99.9% of the time. And the Lakers lost that one. 53-44, start of the second half. Will it continue for the Lakers with the stops? How about a takeaway to start it off? Smush up against Dampier and grab from behind. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
What a way to come out of the locker room.
You said it.
I mean, seriously, if you've got yourself a lead and you've done it with your defense, you come out of the locker room with a turnover, a steal, as Smush says. Thank you very much, Eric. That's the way you keep your eyes open for someone blindsiding you. And then free throws coming to Smush, who missed 3 free throws in the first half. But he's got a start here in the second half that can help the Lakers really get going.
Kobe dominated the Lakers free throw proceedings in the first half, and with good reason now that Smush had missed another. He's 1 for 5. You know, he's a guy that's hit at a very, and surprised us all, hitting almost 40% of his three-pointers. And coming into the game, you know, at the free throw line, not awful, 70%. He gets 1 of 2.
Well, that 70% will take a major hit tonight.
Yeah, 54-44, so the Lakers back up by 10. And their largest lead of the first half was 11. Nowitzki beyond the arc, hit by Cook. And that's before the shot, as he just threw it up there trying to draw the call.
There's the help and recover. Cook was trying to help on the high screen and then recovered back to Dirk. And Dirk is he's such a threat to shoot. He had Cook up on his toes and out of defensive position.
That is the 3rd foul for Bryant Cook. So let's see if they can't get some minutes out of him, because he only had 7 in the first half. And plus the threat he gives the Lakers from 15 to 20 foot range. Lamar snatches down that miss.
What an outlet pass.
Beautiful one to Kobe, working against Nowitzki inside on the bank. And the contact was there in the lower portion of his body. Will it be Nowitzki?
Wow.
No. Dampier.
The key to fast break is obviously rebounding, but that first outlet pass is vital, as Lamar rebound and then nice pass almost to midcourt, and that beats the defender's back. Kobe gets fouled, goes to the line, and adds to his point total.
I'll go back to what you talked about. There's 2 early points on 3